yogi, activist, ethnopharmacologist, Ayurvedic practitioner, and the herbal facet of the original Organic India crew. This video journal today is about Kutki. The Latin is Piquereza Corral. The Sanskrit word is katuki, for those of you who may know. And this Kutki is one of the greatest liver herbs in Ayurveda. I mean, and that says a lot. There's so many incredible liver herbs in Ayurveda, like the neem and the turmeric and the kalmeg, the andrographis. There's so many wonderful herbs for the liver. So to say that it's like one of the best says a lot. It's a high Himalaya herb, and it's one of the herbs that is both like incredibly precious in the sense that it's rare to find an herb that can do what Kutki can do, and it's going extinct in the wild. It's like over harvesting. There's so many different reasons. All the dams that are being built up in the Himalayas. There's like 20 different reasons why this herb is going extinct, and it's one of our most precious ones. So we'll talk a little bit more about the efforts to save this herb. It's, as I said, it's one of the best liver herbs. Here's a tagline for you. Optimizing deep organ terrain by detoxing, restoring, and rejuvenation. Optimizing deep organ terrain by detoxing, restoring, rejuvenating. So you can say, Prashanti, well, those three are kind of like the same thing. It's not. Detoxing is like you're getting rid of all the, either neutralizing the toxins or flushing them out. Restoring, you're restoring the very terrain of the organ, and then rejuvenating, you're vivifying it, you're bringing life to it. So optimizing deep organ terrain by detoxifying, by restoring, and by rejuvenating. This is like a tagline for you. So why do I think it's one of the greatest liver herbs around? My own experience with my own body, my experience in a clinical setting, my, just reading what the tradition, this thousands of years that have been written about this herb, reading that. One of my mentors is Dr. Narendra Singh, and he has seen 500,000 clients in his life. He has given Kutki to tens of thousands of people, and what he has accomplished with it, it's beyond. I can't really tell you because the FDA would be totally on me because this video is associated with Organic India. I can't tell you how strong of an herb and what it does with the liver, how it helps the liver. But just read between the lines. Like, think of some of the most amazing things that you could do with liver health. And again, remember, it supports the terrain. So another reason why I feel it's one of the best liver herbs is just seeing his experience and all the documentation for that. And then another reason is in reading all the literature, the Western peer-reviewed international bioscience literature. It's again remarkable what this herb will do. So given that, Kutki is one of the, in my opinion, one of the very best liver herbs. I don't know a better liver herb than Kutki. So before we go on, let's look at some photographs so we're on the same page. This isn't a picture of Kutki, but in many ways it's a picture of the king of Kutki. Ben Heron is his name. He's an incredible, hardworking, intelligent gem who spent 9 years in the Himalayas studying and growing herbs. He so deserves a medal considering how hard he has worked and for how long growing and protecting Himalayan herbs, especially Kutki. You can't imagine the hurdles he's surmounted. Back in the 1990s, when I was first birthing Organic India with my dear brother Santosh, it was such hard work that it was practically killing us, no joke. You need such a strong will to create something like this in India, so I can totally empathize with how hard Ben has worked. In this next picture, here's a Kutki field that Ben planted on a hillside. Many Himalayan herbs, of course, prefer to grow on hills and not necessarily on flat ground. Makes sense. By the way, many people call this herb katuki, its Sanskrit name, but I tend to call it by the name that the Himalayan people tend to use, the Kutki, which is, of course, a contraction of katuki. In this next photograph, here you get an idea of the high Himalayan context in which the Kutki is grown. Note though that this is a beautiful sunshiny day, right? It looks like paradise. But Kutki also requires to be under a few feet of snow for several months every year. So this tableau that you're looking at, believe me, it changes. In this next photograph, it's a close-up of some of the rows. You can grow senna in 60 days, you can grow tulsi in 90 days, you can grow psyllium in 6 months, but it can take 2 to 3 years to grow Kutki to this stage. Ben may make it look easy, but it's not an easy thing at all to accomplish. Kutki is also one of the main plants that the Dunagiri Foundation is working on growing. The Dunagiri Foundation is a non-profit registered in Delhi whose mission is to save Himalayan herbs and Himalayan yogic and Ayurvedic knowledge. Two other dear friends and allies, Vajra Ashara, Vivek Devan, and myself are the trustees of Dunagiri. We are working on making sure that companies like Organic India have really high quality, sustainable Kutki. In this next photograph is a close-up of some of the Kutki plants. By now loaded with incredible potent phytochemistry like the Kutkial, the Kutkisterol, Kutkaside, picarizin, and picaricides. The leaves have a lot of the potent Kutki chemistry, but it's in the underlying network of the roots and rhizomes, both above and below the ground, where the potency is actually concentrated. In this next photo, it's Kutki flowering. Kutki flowers are gorgeous. These beautiful flowers. In this next photo, here are 3 grades of Kutki according to Ben's standards. On the left is grade A, then grade B, then on the right is his grade C. It's rare these days that you will find grade A Kutki. Most of it will look like the pile on the right. And, so it's really important to find good Kutki and to support the growing of really wonderful, healthy, sustainable Kutki. So what's in a name? You know I love names. First of all, this word katuki. Katu means pungent, ki means which is pungent, that which gives pungency. So one might think kutki is a pungent herb. It's actually one would think it's like a warming pungent herb with a name like katuki. No, it's actually quite a cold, bitter herb. You know, it's like as is normal for a lot of liver herbs. Like the neem tends to be very cold bitters that clean the liver. However, the metabolites of this herb, as it's called vipak in Ayurveda, they are very pungent. They are very warming. It's kind of interesting how that flips. So that's one of the reasons why it's called katuki. Kutki then is the Hindi contraction of katuki. One of another Sanskrit name is amagni. It literally means the destruction of toxic congestion. Like ama is like undigested food mass gunk throughout the body. Kutki is the destroyer of that, the amagni of it. Similar, there's this other herb, Cyperus rotundus, that one of the Sanskrit words is amapachak, the eater of ama, undigested food mass. This takes it one step further, it destroys it. So that's one of the words. The Latin is kind of interesting. Picoriza kara. Picro is Greek for bitter, rhiza is root, bitter root. It's kind of the opposite. The Greek for sweet is glyco. So glycorrhiza, which is licorice, is the name for licorice, opposite of that, picoriza. Then the other word in the Latin binomial, the species, Picoriza carau. Carau is one of the high Himalayan names for Kutki. There it is. So, what is Kutki all about? I could go on and on. Liver, fantastic herb for the liver, as I have said. So many mechanisms, like at least 10, 12 mechanisms that I can think of how it supports liver function. And remember what I said, optimizing deep organ terrain. There's some herbs just go in, or drugs often, they'll just go in and like attack a problem. Other herbs will reorganize the terrain to make that terrain absolutely unsuitable for the problem in the first place. It's a much better way to have your medicine. As far as preventative medicine, this should be 95% of our actions. As far as actually treating something, 80%. So, fantastic deep organ terrain. It really helps to detox, restore, and rejuvenate the liver. By the way, I said it's one of the best liver herbs. It's way high on the list as well as far as kidneys go, pancreas, and even the brain. Uh, that's not part of the tradition. Normally, when I read the Western bioscience literature, I I just find things that confirm the ancient traditions that have been going on for thousands of years. But sometimes the Western bioscience literature comes up with something new and interesting and quite cool. And in this case, I've there's articles that show how Kutki is really great for the brain, similar way that turmeric is, protects the nerves from the um, from attack, you can say, and it also helps keep the synapses clear. So another aspect. So Kutki helps the liver. Kutki detoxes. We've been through that. It's fantastic for neutralizing poisons. There's lots of different science around that. Um, it's also detoxes them, helps flush them out, and as it's creating this new terrain, just is removes the tissue in the depths of the liver, removes the toxins out of there. Another aspect is adaptogen. It's like a bona fide adaptogen. Usually, like something so cold and bitter wouldn't be so, but there's definitely facets and powers of Kutki that are adaptogenic. Another one is immunity. It's unbelievable how strong Kutki supports your immunity. And remember, my definition of immunity is a little bit different. One of them, the first aspect of immunity is you have to build the blood. Because the white blood cells are basic to immunity. Kutki does that. Another one is support healthy response to occasional inflammation. That Kutki does. Another one helps control histamine function, we'll just say. Another one helps create optimal levels of microbes in the body. Fantastic at that, especially in the liver. Put that together. So this is some of the ways that it helps immunity. Incredibly powerful antioxidant is another one, or incredibly powerful at supporting antioxidant function. So much so that it's one of the best herbs, and this is part of the restoring facet. It's one of the best herbs to restore the levels of endogenous antioxidants like SOD, superoxide dismutase, and glutathione. So these are some of the, oh, and also digestion. Of course, great liver herb. Liver is fundamental to digestion, and Kutki really helps that. So, what's the best Kutki? As you saw in the pictures, so much of the Kutki in the market is actually it's illegal because it's like wildcrafted and it's illegal. It's so rare, it's illegal to wildcraft. So a lot of the Kutki is wildcrafted and a lot of the companies you might buy. So the best Kutki is that which is actually grown on these farms that you've seen the pictures of. Um, these high altitude farms. This is one of the things that people like Ben and Vajra and myself with Dunagiri are working on ensuring that there's these always will be a sustainable supply of these high Himalayan herbs. This is what you want to look for. This is what organic India does. This is the Kutki of organic India as well. How to take it? It's very bitter. It's best to take in a capsule. There's a great formula that Dr. Narendra Singh has created. It's called Liver Kidney. Has the Kutki, has some other really wonderful herbs, Bhumamlaki and Punarnava. We can talk about them later. It's a great way to take it. Take 2 or 3 capsules 2 or 3 times a day when you really want to work on something. So there it is, Kutki, wonderful herb to deeply restore organ terrain by detoxifying, restoring, and rejuvenating. Thank you. There you